a road through the Rub Al Khali. Even in Saudi Arabia's mysterious desert, the Rub Al Khali camel riders have become a rare sight. Today, these sons of the desert drive land cruisers equipped with cell phones and satellite navigation systems. High-tech reigns even here. And Vertgen is on site to report on a highly interesting road construction method. But first, a little background. Aramco, the Saudi Arabian oil company, is currently involved in a road construction project called Shaybah Access Road. At the end of this road, a town is planned that will have up to 15,000 inhabitants living and working in it. To link the Shaybah project up to the existing road network, a stretch of around 400 kilometers of road needed to be built to allow the heavy oil drilling plant and processing equipment to be transported into the area. The Saudi desert consists of sand dunes that can be up to 400 meters high, our idea of the classic desert landscape, as well as wide flat plains. An access road was built here between 1995 and 1996. Onto a highly compressed sand base course averaging 1.5 meters thick, a triple layer of marl sand mixture was laid, each layer 20 centimeters thick. Supplying the building materials needed posed no problem at all, as there's plenty of dune sand available, and marl, a material with a wide range of qualities and gradation, was available on either side of the road bed. Constructed in this way, the road, or rather access road, had a rock-hard surface. But it had to be kept moist constantly by watering. Otherwise, the prevailing wind simply blew the surface material away. But it couldn't take rain either, and that posed the real problem. Unfortunately, this is an area of the desert where it does rain, not often, but when it does, it pours. And that was something this road couldn't deal with. The rainwater, so welcome elsewhere, turned the road into a soaking, muddy morass with each downpour. Navigating this terrain became a dangerous exercise in slithering. Warning signs were put up, and the road became impassable for several days at a time. All heavy, load-bearing traffic came to a standstill, causing delays in construction of the oil drilling installations. Every day counts, and every day without transport costs Aramco money, a great deal of it. Even though the mud dries out very quickly under the searing sun, it still ends up looking like this. Heavy trucks have a real battle getting across this tortuous stretch of ground. Intolerable conditions, and in dire need of a remedy, fast. The original plan was to asphalt this stretch, laying a bed of broken stone about 25 to 30 centimeters deep and topping this with 10 to 12 centimeters of asphalt. But this solution would have taken over 18 months to construct, time that simply wasn't available, and it would have been expensive. At this stage, Vertgen stepped into the picture. We're renowned the world over for having first-class, reasonably priced solutions immediately to hand. After the initial contact with the consultant responsible for this road-building project, Saudi Arabia Parsons, Wirtgen worked out a proposal in close cooperation with the South African consultant Loudon and Partner. The solution was revolutionary in terms of method, construction time, and cost structure. The magic words were foam bitumen and cement suspension mixture. Loudon and Partners' plan was that the upper sand mar layer be milled to a depth of 20 centimetres and thoroughly mixed with a layer of foam bitumen, cement and water, improving its load-bearing ability. A process that can be carried out to perfection by Wirtgen's WR2500 and WM400 machines. This process is equally well suited to construction projects in the desert, the tropics, or in icy climatic zones. Successful road renovation in the mountainous regions of Norway is eloquent proof of this claim. But let's get to the actual construction process. 3 Wirtgen trains were in operation around the clock. Shift changeover. A new team, the night shift, takes over. There's no place for amateurs here. This is work for the toughest professionals. The desert gives no quarter. Creating anything here is a battle. Night falls suddenly in the Rub Al Khali. It's hot. Through days where temperatures soar to 65 degrees centigrade, through sandstorms, work must go on under virtually impossible conditions. There's no time to lose. A test for man and machine alike. Who are these men who are constructing a heavy load-bearing road in record time in one of the most inhospitably hot corners of the planet? They're well-trained specialists, made of the stuff that's particular to construction pros. The locally stationed Aramco staff are engineers from Saudi Arabia and the United States, men who've proved their proficiency on major construction sites around the world. Syrian-born project chief Ned Shannon was brought up in America and studied construction engineering there. Our Wirtgen man in Saudi Arabia, known to everyone as Sadek, is also Syrian and a qualified engineer. He has spent half his life on construction sites. His specialized expertise is indispensable on Wirtgen's desert construction sites. And this is our number 1 man on the WR2500 here in the Rub Al Khali.
Hello, I am Suresh. I am the first operator for this mission in Saudi Arabia.
Whether foreman, engineer or operator, they are all driven by the same ferocious zeal that's a prerequisite to working on this type of construction site. Saudi Arabia is a man's world. Now, let's get to the construction site itself. Early in May 1997, the first Wirtgen recycling machines arrived. A Wirtgen WR2500 cold recycler and a Wirtgen WM400 suspension mixer. A month later, the second train arrived, and from then on, work continued in full swing. The road grew visibly, around 4.5 kilometers a day. In September 1997, we were felt to be technically under-equipped, so a third Wirtgen train arrived and got to work immediately. The individual machines are easy to identify, as they're numbered in sequence. Compacted sand-marl mixture is no problem for the Wirtgen recycler. The unusable surface and the layer beneath are milled out to perfection and pulverized into the correct granular size. As we mentioned earlier, this is the first step in the stabilizing process, so we're halfway there. This granulate is mixed with foam bitumen, cement and water, all added in slurry form, that is, dust-free. It doesn't take much imagination to picture what would happen if the cement was spread loose on the surface instead of in suspension. One sneeze from a camel and you'd have a dust cloud. Just a slight breeze and the cement would be everywhere, except where you want it, on the road surface. The WM400 is just ideal for these conditions. But the dust-free mixing of the suspension is only one side of the coin. The other, and possibly even more important aspect, is the precise, electronically pre-selected and controlled precision of the cement and asphalt feed quantities, which is only possible with the dual spray bar systems of the WR2500. What does this do? Ensures an absolutely precise mix for the slurry. Construction can continue even during light sandstorms, thanks to the WN400. Now, the foam bitumen. What's the advantage here? Quite simple. Foam bitumen has the fantastic ability to bind even the finest particles in smaller quantities of asphalt. This advantage, used to the full here, gives a tough wearing surface and the requisite load-bearing capacity. Results from tests carried out on samples taken daily by the camp laboratory show that the specifications are being met and even exceeded. The Wirtgen machines are followed by teams of graders and rollers to pre-grade and compact the new layer. Where construction progress will allow, the final levelling is carried out. This surface will later be sealed. Carrying out the work quickly and keeping within contract specifications requires a masterly performance of logistics. For instance, the trucks collected the bitumen from a refinery in Riyadh. From Riyadh to the start of the construction site is a good 900 kilometers, and the further the building site gets, the further the trucks have to travel, anything up to 1,150 kilometers. And they needed plenty of bitumen, up to 500 tons a day and more. Before the bitumen can be used for the foam process, it has to be heated here to at least 180 degrees centigrade. The water used for the foam process comes from Anbach, not especially close at 550 kilometers from site. To make the slurry, nearly 70 million liters have to be trucked to the construction site. To lengthen the water tank cycle, our client ordered the 3 WR2500s to be fitted with an additional 800-litre tank. even the cement has an 800-kilometer trip behind it once it reaches the construction site from its origins in the Al Khassa oasis, from Hufuf, the same place as the water comes from. The emulsion that's mixed here with sand and applied as the paving surface comes from Daman, which is 700 kilometers away from the start of the building site. Slurry seal is the technical term for this sealing layer. This runny mix of emulsion and fine aggregate sand closes and seals the wearing surface of the new road. It's a 6mm layer that forms this final seal. The work is carried out by local Saudi subcontractors. Why don't we listen to the men who are responsible for the smooth running of the construction process?
My name is Sami Al Khudari. Al Khudari Group is based in Saudi Arabia with approximately 10,000 employees. One of our special activities is mainly road construction and maintenance. We are proud to introduce the foamed asphalt technology here. Engineer Khatrib will give a briefing on this technology. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Khudari. The Shaybah field access road was constructed with cohesive soil material surfacing. This is required a lot of maintenance and the road had to be closed every time there is rain. We made a proposal to stabilize it with asphalt foam. With the cooperation of Verken and Loudon consultants, presentations were made to the Saudi Aramco management and bid documents were initiated. The specification included for 2.5 years warranty period. The foam stabilization job was awarded to our company after competitive bidding. With a merely 6 months period, we were able to transform 386 kilometer, 10-meter wide dirt road into a highway road, into a highway quality and highway lifetime. We believe this is a world record in road construction for many years to come. This is also a pride and a big reference for the asphalt foam technology.
It took little more than 6 months to complete the road. One of the Verken trains put in more than 3,000 operating hours. And this is what the road looks like today. Over 9 meters wide and nearly 400 kilometers long, and a handsome sight, the road to Shaybah. Of course, it's not only a great road that's been built here. We've also found a functional answer to Aramco's specific problems and requirements. And it's an answer that pays off too. The new stretch not only saves the company's trucks an entire day of driving, it also minimizes the risk of danger to people and transported goods alike. One thing we were naturally not aware of at the start of the project, in Rub Al Khali we were setting a world record. A road construction record that will be included in the Guinness Book of Records. And at Verken, we're happy to say, we were there.